Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be about whether or not narcissistic people are aware of their behaviour, and we can make sweeping generalisations based on the characteristics of the disorder, based on research done by psychologists and by people who have lived through narcissistic abuse. However, whether a narcissist is aware they have hurt you or not depends on the narcissist you are dealing with. So this video is going to be about whether or not narcissistic people are aware of their behaviour towards you. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers and your continued support with the channel. It's greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about the narcissist personality disorder, to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you overcome narcissistic abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. So when it comes to a narcissistic person, more often than not, when they receive some form of narcissistic injury, when they feel criticised in some way, when they feel like you have disrespected them, when they feel like they're losing control, when they feel like their need of entitlement hasn't been met, when they feel like they've been called out on their behaviour, that they believe they're entitled to act like, they are going to suffer some form of narcissistic injury. And when they suffer this narcissistic injury, they seek to punish the person who has injured them. So yes, they seek to punish the person who they believe has turned against them. And this can be sexually, this can be physically, this can be psychologically, this can be spiritually, this can be mentally, this can be financially. There's so many different ways a narcissist can try and get someone back. They can do it overtly in an obvious way, or they can do it covertly in a more subtle, hidden way. And once they've punished somebody, they then seek to gain a reaction out of that person. They seek to humiliate that person. They seek to shame that person. They seek to blame that person, so that the narcissist isn't held responsible for their behaviour, so that they can pass the blame over to the third person. So yes, in that sense, because a narcissist felt hurt, they sought to hurt that person back. However, they don't want to admit that they've hurt that person back, so they quickly blame the other person. Or when it comes to a narcissist that just doesn't believe they're getting their sense of entitlement met, someone might not have actually done anything to the narcissist. The narcissist might walk into the house and be busy paying attention to their phone, which many of us do these days. Many of us are looking at our social media, messaging people. So they might walk into the house busy looking at their phone. And you could simply ask them, have you had a good day? And they will just ignore you because they believe you criticise their sense of entitlement to do what they want to do. And they're going to walk straight past you and sit down and look at their phone and completely ignore you. And as you question what you might have done, you might go and speak to them, to ask them for what's wrong, what have I done? Did you have a good day? Has something happened at work? Did something happen with your friends? Well, the more you push them for an answer, the more they go into themselves, the less they will focus on that phone, and the more they will focus on what you're saying, so that they can use what you're saying against you, so that they can fall silent on you, so they can frustrate you, so they can irritate you, because they believe that their sense of entitlement was criticised when they walked through that door. Therefore, they seek to hurt you. However, you're not going to win with a narcissist, because the next day if they walk through the door and you don't ask them, because you know that last time when you did ask them, this offended them. So perhaps I'll not ask them. They're then going to be offended that they weren't important enough for you to ask them how their day was. So if a narcissist feels like their sense of entitlement hasn't been met, they are going to seek to hurt you, to feel better about who they are as a person. If they feel like you've ignored them, they're going to seek to gain that attention elsewhere. And it's a double win for a narcissist, because not only do they gain the attention elsewhere, they can use the attention they're getting to support their supply while they play mind games with you. So when your instincts are speaking out to say that something's not quite right and you go and approach them, they're going to keep things hidden from you. They're not going to tell you the full story. They're going to leave out bits of information to confuse you. So you're giving them attention by asking them questions. They might tell you where they've been, but they're not going to tell you who they've been with. And when things just don't sort of add up in your instincts and you go to communicate with them, they're going to be gaining that attention. And they believe, because you weren't paying them the attention they believe they're entitled to in the first place, that you deserve what you're getting, even though you don't deserve it at all. It's how their beliefs work. It's who they are. It's due to the characteristics of the disorder. Now, with some narcissistic people, this is intentionally done. It's a thought out plan, in which case, yes, they mean to hurt you. With others, it's instinct. It's who they are as a person. It's repeat pattern of behaviour, of learned behaviour, of how they get away with things, how they punish people, in which case, yes, they do know they're hurting you because they've done it before. They know they've hurt someone in the past and they know they've got away with it. The fact remains when it comes to narcissistic people is they are incredibly entitled people. They believe they're entitled to exploit others to get their own needs met. And whether or not they are aware of their behaviour, they lack the empathy to care for how their behaviour affects those around them. They only care about getting their needs met, about avoiding taking responsibility for their behaviour. And because they won't take responsibility for their behaviour, they're not going to change their behaviour because they don't see themselves as the problem. They believe that everybody else in their lives has caused them their problems, therefore everybody else should change, not them. They believe they're always right. Therefore, if they're always going to be right, this is always going to, in their minds, make everybody else out to be in the wrong. You cannot win with a self-entitled hypocrite. With a narcissist, it's always going to be do as I say and not as I do. And if you do as I do, I am going to punish you. Now, the disorder is on a spectrum. People do need at least 5 of the 9 criteria to be classed as on that spectrum. So the 5 criteria someone might have might differ from what another might have. Someone might have all 9 of the criteria. These are going to be incredibly toxic people to be around. So with some, limited contact and grey rock, raising your standards, knowing your values, knowing your beliefs, creating your boundaries. A narcissist isn't going to appreciate your boundaries, but that doesn't mean you cannot create your personal boundaries. With some, you can learn who they are as a person. Lower your expectations of their ability to understand what they do. Learn to recognise their behaviour. Remind yourself that it's not you. You did not cause it. You cannot change it. You cannot help them through it. It's who they are. With others, it 100% needs to be no contact. Leave them to go and let life educate them while you go and educate yourself on what life has taught you. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please add those into the comments. I shall add into the description the videos on why narcissistic people hurt you, why narcissistic people always believe that they are right, to give you more information on those. I have partnered with BetterHelp. If you are looking for further support, their sponsored link is in the video description if you'd like to take a look at that. Thank you very much for listening. Go out there, create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.